Good morning, everyone. This is the update for yesterday, April the 15th of 2026. And this is actually take two of this video, and to be honest, there was nothing wrong with take one. As a matter of fact, I already like take one more than I like take two. But there is one particular spot in the development process of these while I'm adding in the captions and a couple of overlay pictures that if the TikTok app that I use to record these gets laggy right there, the possibility exists where you can basically back out of the editing screen and it will jump back to like you just opened the app up. And to the best of my knowledge, if that happens, whatever you were working on is just gone. I cannot find any subfolder or anything where stuff that is in that particular state goes to. It's just like it never happened. And doggone it, because this was one of those versions of these updates where there's like no even debate whether or not I want to reshoot or anything. It was just good. And gosh dang it. Anyway, so here we go with round two. So I worked at the store today. Well, again, yesterday. Dang, I liked this other version better. But I had a store shift. It was 9 to 5. And in the vein of Dolly Parton, that joke hit better in the other version, but whatever. Anyway, let's see. While I was there, the first thing that they actually ended up having me do was scrubbing a couple of trash cans. You know, we're in the food business, and fruit flies do occasionally happen. So I was assigned to go in there and basically scrub and sanitize the hell out of these couple of trash cans, and we were successful. But my main duty on this shift was carts. Now, I mentioned in yesterday's video that the forecast for this shift today was it was dire. Thunderstorms is basically what it said. And here's again the thing about Portland weather. And basically, if you get a forecast here in Portland, Oregon, and it says rain, trust it. If it says anything else, I'll believe it when I see it. And if anything else is in conjunction with rain, assume you'll get the rain. All the rest, believe it when you see it. So they were calling for thunderstorms, is the point. And I am not too shocked at all to report that I did not hear any thunder or see any lightning in the entire shift. We got the rain. But that being said, there were a couple of instances of hail during my scheduled shift. As a matter of fact, there were 3 of them. And somehow I managed to avoid all 3. The first time I was, it hadn't been raining at the beginning of my cart time. And so I was actually just operating with a windbreaker. But it did that thing where it goes from no precipitation at all to big fat raindrops in about 7 seconds. It did that. And instinct and years of doing this have taught me that when that happens, just go and get a rain slicker now. So I do. I go to the supply room to get a rain slicker. And there's a particular rain slicker in there that the zipper's broken. But it's the cleanest looking one, and I grab it every time. And so I go and fumble with that, and then realize I grabbed the stupid freaking broken one again, and go and swap it out. By the time I get back out there, hail come, hail go. Cool. All right. Second time, I'm on lunch. Have an hour lunch break. On hour lunches, I go home because I live close by. And for the first time, pretty much ever, due to a really kind of weird set of circumstances, right in front of my apartment, I ended up getting boxed in. And that's actually a pretty decent story, and I'll tell it in another day. But I have to switch cars from the one that I was planning to use, and so I'm a few minutes behind. I'm at the traffic light right outside my store. The hail hits. By the time I get into the parking lot, get into the store, clock in, and get out there, hail gone. Would have been there if I wasn't late. And the third time, I'm actually out in the parking lot, and having a quick conversation with a dude named Ibrahim. Who's Ibrahim? Well, he's the cart kid who was sent to replace me at the end of my day. He had actually just clocked in a couple of minutes early, so it was 4:56, and I was just telling him about what was going on, and we were doing our handoff. And so, as the hail comes, I head inside. The supervisor has me actually look into an accounting thing for a few minutes, and end up leaving around 5:15. But by the time I get out of there, the hail is long since gone, and evaded that one as well. Now, normally, or at least more often than not, if I'm scheduled for a day that's less than 8 hours, and in this case it was 7 hours, I'll get to the end of my day, they're busy or whatever, and they'll ask if I will help out and stay just for a full shift and help out for a bit. And today, because again, hailstorms and whatever else going on, we weren't all that busy, so they're like, just go. Like, all right, cool. That being said, there are trade-offs for everything in life, and because the store is an hourly role, stuff like that, it is technically costing me money. So I've decided, I don't want to waste that time. And so I go to the gym and instead of my regular 60-minute workout, do a 95-minute workout. Now, granted, the last half hour, 35 minutes were a bit sketchier than what I normally do, but I did do a nice long workout. Overall, a really good, solid workout, and to make up a little bit for that. I'm almost out of the tax woods, by the way. In several different updates, I've talked about this little tax thing that I got. I'm pretty much there. As a matter of fact, I was in the editing phase of this video while checking out on the IRS website to make sure the last step of the tax journey, which in the previous edition of this, I said I'm just about to go in and finish. At this point, I went in and finished while I was doing the editing, which is when TikTok decided to freeze and drop the entire other update I was editing. But anyway, long story short, at the time that I'm recording this, I have now gotten that entire payment in, and that situation is, for the most part, dealt with. Probably going to get slapped with some stupid freaking fee or late whatever, because 8 a.m. hour on April the 16th for the final bit of the payment, but whatever at this point. System is so freaking stupid. Anyway, the bathroom project. So after all that yesterday, I went and the bathroom thing that I was doing, where I was condensing the 2 bathrooms into one and getting rid of a lot of stuff and moving some decor items out of there, all that stuff that I talked about in previous videos. For the most part, I finished that up last night. There are just a couple of, handful of little tiny things that I still need to find a committed spot for, but that's basically done. So, making that, made that progress there. And then by the time that I, got to the point where I was going to film this video, I was just too tired. And so I ended up going to bed. And so here we are doing this video now. The previous version of this had me going in and talking about music a little bit. I think I'm going to start making a Post-it note board of various topics that I wanted to address from previous days that I just ran out of time before hitting the 10-minute limit. And I'm at 9 minutes and 47 seconds right now. So we'll save that story for another day. I'm going to try not to forget about that one, because I kind of liked it. And we'll Probably share that with you tomorrow. Thanks for joining me all the way to the end. Have a good one, and ciao for now.